It's souL.
And souL's opponent in the top right-hand side in the red, representing the Ukraine. And is he on a team or is he teamless right now? Hellraiser. What?
Clash.
He's on Clash. Of course he is. It's Clash Gaming's Hellraiser. What would I do without you, Grant?
Oh, probably a better job.
No, I flounder. What are you talking about? Clash Gaming, of course they are. Clash Gaming, one of those very old gaming organizations. I feel like they've been around forever now. Notably, of course, picking up Rainer lately. Yes. Of course, they're an Italian team, but they just lost Lambo. They just released Lambo earlier. This year, he's still teamless. So I like that Rotterdam is still technically active on their Wikipedia page, even though he started Team Rotting.
Yeah, no, he's still a member of Clash. He still represents Clash, yeah, but he also has his own team on the side, which is really nice of Clash to allow that. Yeah, it feels like Clash are definitely one of the older, bigger teams, but they're still, to me, they feel new. I think they came around in like 2016, doing very well in other games as well. I know that they do some mobile stuff and stuff like that. They have an awesome facility in Italy, awesome.
Do they?
Yeah, like really, like you see those modern team houses with like ping pong tables and arcades and stuff. Yeah, they're like that. That's so sick.
Man, hey, Clash Gaming, if you want a team caster, and Rotterdam's not doing it for you, if you want to call me,
they've got this other guy who happens to be maybe the best in the world. So I think we're SOL there. Reaper Expand coming out here from souL. Nothing unexpected. Hellraiser going for that expand is producing his first adept. Everything very normal. Hellraiser hasn't thrown anything down on the other side of the map. I was expecting maybe he'd consider a proxy here, but he's not. He's going to throw down his Stargate at home, and everything very normal. Right now, as we start out our first PVT of the series.
Yeah, I'm jazzed. I do love Terrans in all three matchups. I used to be a Terran main before I switched to random. And so I have a secret, deep love in my heart for Terran players. I think the Terran race has got some really interesting mechanics that they use. And the play styles that are open to them are so wildly varied. You know, if you're a Zerg player, you've got to be good at micro, period. Like, at all levels, if you're a Zerg player, you have to be able to micro really well. But if you're a Terran player, you can rely on just army positioning and great macro, going to tank fights. And there's sort of opportunities for a lot of different players to get in at all skill levels for Terran. I feel like the skill floor is lower for Terran players, which makes it more attractive for beginners.
And I hate to interrupt. Creighton Olsen.
Yes, you have to interrupt, Grant. What is going on?
What the frick is souL doing? Did someone tell him that he's not a macro player? And he was like, yeah, you're right, I'm not a macro player, I'm going to proxy. Because it seems like we're going to see a Hellion drop here from souL. He's going to load up a couple of Hellions here into this medevac. I think 2 more should make it in time. Yes, they will. And 4 are going to be dropped immediately, either into the natural or up into the main. Probably both. There is a Phoenix currently sitting at home to deal with any Widow Mine that would come out. I love this. He's going to get dizzy.
The Phoenix scouting paths are so sexy. He's definitely going to get dizzy. He's got a lot of G forces on that pilot for sure. But you're absolutely correct. It's going to be a 4. It's going to be oh jeez. It's going to be a 4 Hellion drop here. The 2 Phoenix won't be able to stop it in time. These Hellions will make it into the main, into the natural base rather. But the Phoenix are way out of position here, and he has not seen this yet. Oh, he's unloading in the shadows. These Hellions going in. Surprise!
Yeah, surprise MFR. Here comes a little bit of damage. We can see at least, I'd say, 8 workers go down. Maybe a little bit less as they haven't lined up perfectly. 1 will be lifted. There we go. There is 8. It actually looks like it maybe even close to 10. 9. Okay, that's not bad. 9 probes go down for the 4 Hellions. Did the medevac go down too? Yeah, okay. The medevac would have been nice to keep, but definitely a good start from souL.
Yeah, Hellraiser was so far ahead in workers there, and souL really struggling to keep up. So that 9 worker kill is going to help him stay competitive in this game. Behind this, souL's doing everything right. He's adding on more barracks. He's adding on the engineering bay. I'd love to see a second NG bay. Yeah, second NG bay going down, and that 3rd command center. On the other side of the map, though, Hellraiser teching. No 3rd base for him just yet, as he's going up to a Robo Bay.
Yeah, so we're seeing a traditional style here from Hellraiser, a Phoenix Colossus. Something that these European Protoss do a lot, and Koreans started to pick up a little bit. The Phoenixes, they lift those key units, the Marauders and things, and they take down the medevacs that allow the Colossus to just rain down absolute havoc onto the army of the Terran. And this is very difficult to deal with, especially when you're not ahead, so to speak, for the Terran player. As we can see, does souL have a third CC in his main? Yes, okay, good. souL CC is at a good timing here, but Phoenix Colossus is a very difficult to play, I will say. I once asked Goblin for some replays, and he's like, yeah, for $5. So I pay him, and he just sends me 5 games where he plays Phoenix Colossus every game. And I'm like, great, like, I can't do this. Like, this is too tough. You have to micro the Phoenixes to the right target. You have to micro the Colossus to stay alive. Plus your ground army, which will be very sentry heavy. It's like impossible if you're not amazing. But Hellraiser very good at these micro scenarios. And I like the way the game is panning out for Hellraiser so far.
Yeah, you make a good point. I've been seeing a lot more Phoenix Colossus play the last month or so. It seems to be rising in popularity lately, especially on the NA server. I know if you watch a Nina stream, every other game is going to be Phoenix Colossus, because if you can control those so well, it's going to be a very effective play. And already first Colossus out, extended thermal lance, a third of the way done, second Colossus on the way. There's still no second Robo yet, I don't believe. Yeah, just the one Robo right now for Hellraiser. Hopefully he can grab a second one here to continue to reinforce once he gets aggressive. But right now, Phoenix Colossus looks strong. At the same time, on the other side of the map, souL is doing everything right. After that, a bit of initial aggression, our Terran player has decided, you know what, I can play this straight up and do well from here. Combat shields, stim, +1/+1. He's even got that armory starting to go for 2/2, and he's adding on barracks number 4 and 5 right now. souL doing everything that a growing, healthy baby Terran player should be doing to get big and strong in the mid game.
Yeah, now one thing we don't have here from our Protoss, which puts him on a bit of a timer, is a forge. Doesn't exist. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yeah, it does. Well, I'm completely wrong. Okay, scrap that.
That's all right.
So, yeah, we'd be expecting the second Robo to come down as the fourth base goes down traditionally. And extended thermal lance getting close. Probe count is good. Gateway count is really getting up there towards the 6, 7, and 8 mark, where you want to be off of 3 bases. And the most important thing right now for our Protoss is that he hasn't lost any Phoenixes. He's played very passively with them. You can see he's kept them all at home to deal with drops and things. And there's a single Marine. This poor guy, with his little combat shield. Like, I'm ready.
He's so brave. He's so brave. Look at him. He's going to get some pot shots off and then just...
My God!
Oh, this game is so good, Grant. It's so satisfying to see that happen over and over again. That poor guy just got vaporized. 1-1 finishes up for souL, and as Hellraiser takes that 4th base, he's going to try and do a little bit of a push. I think that's still advised.
Yeah, souL right now is out on the map, and he's scouting ahead with a medevac just to find out where the army position is, and seeing if he can find anything. Hellraiser's army is actually really not that good right now. He doesn't have the gateway units that he would love. He's going to catch a couple of units here, and this is nice. He takes no damage. He's getting his 4th base. Hellraiser, the longer time goes on, the scarier his army gets, because he's already at 3 Colossus, 4th on the way. Phoenix count is which is when you play Phoenix Colossus generally. Oh my God, he just lost 12 workers. Late Widow Mine drop.
Yeah, very late Widow Mine drop there in the 3rd, cleaned up by the Phoenix. I will say that Hellraiser is doing souL is doing a good job on the other side. Now that he's identified it's Phoenix Colossus, because he's now seen the Colossus, he's seen the Phoenix. Yeah, these things are going to reload. Is Hellraiser going to pull out? Oh, Grant. Oh, Grant. Oh, no.
Oh, another 6. 27 workers have gone down this game.
Goodness gracious. Finally gets cleaned up. That photon cannon finishing just a little bit too late. Gracious me. But as I was saying, souL is doing everything right on the other side of the map here. He's added on his starport count. He's up to at least 2 now, cranking out Vikings 3, 4 at a time usually. And he's got ghosts and advanced shockwaves as well. And with the ghosts to pick down the shields with the advanced shockwaves, and the Vikings to pick down those Colossus. As long as souL maintains a healthy but not healthy but not gluttonous Viking count, he should be just fine. And I think he's a player who's really good at getting just the right number of Vikings and balancing that very well. Yeah,
and souL also has the better Vespian Geyser here with the rich Vespian Geyser to give him that little bit more gas. So ghosts and things aren't too much of an issue for him. You can see his gas income is great. And this is what souL wants. souL wants to make it past 10 minutes. And when he does, I think he's so tough to beat for any player in the world. Because he can control those ghosts. He can control those Vikings. He can find the angles. He can expand. He can get his upgrades up to 3-3. And he will just do so well. He's already at 2-2. No 3-3 starting yet, as he is getting a fusion core, actually. For Liberators, I imagine. And that Liberator upgrade. Yep, that is going to be the case. And where's 3-3, souL?
Bit of a mistake skipping that 3-3 because we do see 2-2 on the way, or 2-1 rather, on the way from Hellraiser. But if souL wants to stay way ahead in the upgrade game, he needs to keep those upgrades pumping out. I think right now he's investing in infrastructure a little bit more, grabbing the Liberator range, and 3 extra barracks so that he can keep pumping out this Bioforce. But souL's army already at 126, and with the upgrade advantage, he might just be able to take this very quickly. With good EMPs, this is going to be an ugly fight.
Oh my god, EMP immediately is incredible. Look at the Colossus go. He has enough to kill them in one volley. All of the Colossus will die immediately. So, as I said, he can control those ghosts. He can control that bio army. And GG, that's all it takes.
Not even close. Not even close. Absolutely steamrolled him there. The advanced shockwave EMPs destroying the shields immediately. The Vikings from the south flank, the Phoenix a little slow to respond as well, which means that, of course, the Vikings were able to, I think it was a 2-shot, but almost kill those Colossi in one volley each, just destructinating them. And we did see Hellraiser with a bit of a mistake positioning-wise. He was trying to wheel his army back. I think he thought he might be able to maintain those Colossus. I think it's sort of second nature for Protoss players to try and get their Colossus back as soon as they see an attack coming. They're like, hang on, let me wheel my Colossus back, and they can fire from the back lines. But of course, they pulled back right into that Viking fire, and that just meant they were out of the fight for a couple extra seconds. And the Gateway army melting behind those bio units, and the upgrade advantage really just helping souL roll to a game number 1. Now, Grant, I know you said souL is a fantastic player after the 10-minute mark or so, and you told a really interesting story a couple days ago on stream about a famous practice partner that souL has specifically for late game.
Yeah, so souL is seryl's dedicated practice partner. Seryl and souL practice together very, very often because souL is so good, and seryl generally as well. When it comes to the late game,
generally good.
Right. So he can benefit a lot from practicing against souL. souL's incredible. One of these quiet gamers. He just plays his games. He's so good, and he just needs that big breakthrough. In this tournament so far, he's doing very well. If he takes this series, he will be up to 4-2, which puts him in a great spot.
Yeah, really impressive. I'm trying to see who souL lost to. Of course, he lost 0-2 to seryl. No surprises there. And 0-2 to Lambo. Also no surprise. Okay. So honestly, those top 3 spots, seryl, Lambo, souL, are pretty even, I think. A pretty clear hierarchy. The problem is going to be that souL definitely wants to try and sneak his way in to that secondary spot. Well, let's get into game, and we'll talk more about what the brackets look like and how they're set up here for this game. Grant, let me know when we're in game and introduce our first player.
Oh, yes. Once I update the score, there we go. In the bottom left-hand side, playing for Makers, he is leading in the series with incredible ghost play and just amazing mechanics. The red Polish Terran, it's souL.
And his opponent in the top right-hand side from Ukraine and Clash Gaming, it is Hellraiser, our blue Protoss player.
Yeah, big fan of Bogdan. Incredibly nice guy. When I first came...
Another great StarCraft name.
Bogdan?
Bogdan. It's pretty cool.
Bogdan.
Sorry, so you were saying?
So when I first came back to StarCraft... Well, I never really left StarCraft, but I stopped going to events for a fair few years after, like, 2012. And then the first event I went to was Homestar Cup 18 or 17. And the first person I walk in and he's there and I'm like, hi, Hellraiser. He's the first person I saw after many, many years of not going to events. So super exciting. And yeah, he's a good kid.
Little starstruck?
Me? No, never. He was.
Sure he was. Well, Grant, I was going to talk really quickly as we see pretty standard openings from both players. Hellraiser looking with Gateway and Cyber on the high ground, which is a little interesting, but he's against a Terran player, so that's fine. And yeah, Natural going to go down. So standard openings from both players. And I just want to reiterate for our viewers who might not be following the entire event what the structure of this tournament looks like. We're currently in Group A. In a group stage event, there are 8 players in this group. The bottom 4 players, after the round robin finishes, the bottom 4 players are out. They're gone. I think they get $750, but they don't continue on in the tournament, and they're out from there. The players in 3rd and 4th place right now, souL and Skillis, in 3rd and 4th place in this group. But that's, of course, subject to change. The players in 3rd and 4th place are seated down into the lower bracket in the group stages, or in the bracket stages. So there's a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. And if you get 3rd and 4th place in your group, you're seated directly into that lower bracket round of 16. And then, of course, 1st and 2nd place, winner's bracket, group of 8, round of 8. And they play it from there. So there's a huge difference between getting 2nd place in a group and getting 3rd place in a group. And right now, souL and Lambo are both on the precipice of that second and third place. So there's actually a lot at stake here. Every map truly counts in this format.
And a quick update from chat. I am being informed that Lambo is currently 1-0 up against souL, which is big for getting out in second place. Every map counts, and if he can beat souL, that's souL's first map loss of the tournament.
Bad news. Yeah, and if Lambo actually does win that, it is bad news for souL, because that will put both souL and Lambo at 5-1, whereas souL will be at 4-2, making it very unlikely that he's going to go on in second or first place. So that would be a surprising upset for sure. But if anybody's going to beat souL, I feel like Lambo's the guy to do it.
Yeah, in that group for sure.
Man, this would be awesome. But enough about the groups, Grant. We should probably talk a little about the game at hand. I get so excited because I'm like a tournament organizer at heart, so I get so excited theory crafting about all the groups and everything that I forget that there's a game right in front of us. We saw a Stargate opener for Hellraiser, going for Phoenix again. Robo behind it. Is he going to drop a Robo Bay and go Phoenix Colossus second game in a row, Grant?
Without doubt. Yeah, that's what he wants to do. I think he realized his last game was lost on one fight. It wasn't an all-in. It was souL was pressuring that base. He hit the EMPs, and the game ended on a dime. Like, it just happened. With better positioning, better awareness, better map control, that won't happen. And Hellraiser knows that, so he wants to keep trying this style. And we'll have to see how it goes. souL behind this is playing very standard. He's getting tanks. He does have a dropship out, I believe, that I saw. Oh, no, it was a Viking.
A drop ship. What year is this, Grant?
I'm so brutal.
I remember those Flash memes when he started playing StarCraft 2, and people were like, your drop ship is also a medic? What? This is crap. But yeah, as you said, Robo Bay going down for Hellraiser. The first Phoenix making their way across, but there's a Cyclone here. Cyclone going to lock on it. Oh, nice. souL's going to pick off one of those. Yeah. Very nice little hunting trap there from souL, who had his Marines out, ready to go. He's now seen the 3 Phoenix, and 3 Phoenix should be a good indication.
Yep.
Since it's not 5 Phoenix, and since it's an odd number of Phoenix, it should be a good indication that you're only on 1 Stargate, which means there's not that many follow-up options. It's either going to be Glaive to Depths, which is highly unlikely, or Robo, and I think souL realizes it's going to be that Phoenix Colossus build because he's moving across the map now and going to put some pressure on. There's a very weak point in this build when you're trying to get your first Colossus out, and it's exactly right now. He's even brought some SCVs to repair up these tanks, maybe slap some bunkers down if he wants to. This push from souL looking real scary, real scary.
Yep. So the entire purpose right now is to put a couple of bunkers up here just in front of the third and get the cancel on the third. There is no way this will be defended. The first Colossus is not out. In terms of units right now, if we were to take a look, there's 3 Phoenixes, 2 Stalkers, and then a Depth. There is tanks here. There's 15 Marines here. Because already left the game. He thinks it's not over.
Our French observers know this is over. Oh my god, he gets a kill, not a cancel on that.
Oh,
that's a huge mistake from Hellraiser.
Yep. Army supply right now still favouring souL. Tanks will move forward. The bunker even going to be cancelled to be put in a more forward position. The Vikings will go down. The tank is here, though. There's only 1 Colossus, and it does not have extended thermal lance, which means a micro. The Cyclone is locking onto it, doing as much damage as it can. There's still Marines standing. The tank is still here. The Marines and the tanks are still standing, and that's going to be so much damage done right now for souL. Behind this, souL is down a couple of workers, sure, but he's got more tanks, more Marines coming in, more racks, more SCVs. He's cancelled the third. Does he have a third of his own? Yep. Almost completely done in his main. And souL just finding everything he needs to so far in this game.
Yeah, that was a pretty textbook attack. Yeah, souL, Hellraiser did have a nice defense there at the very end of that. When his Colossus came out, he did get some really nice swipes off. The target firing from souL wasn't great. He lost a lot of Marines initially. His Marines were busy focusing on a Phoenix, I think, and the Phoenix had lifted up, of course, those tanks to slow it down a bit. So the Colossus got a lot of kills, but the Colossus did go down behind that, and that takes Hellraiser's Colossus count down to, let me count, wait, he's got 1 Colossus on the map right now, and that's just not as scary as 2 or maybe 3. Extended thermal lance a third of the way done, but souL has his third down. Should move that over. Yeah, is moving that over right now, and should be adding on some more SCVs. I went through every one of them. I was like, probes? No. Should be adding on some more SCVs here to max out, or to get his economy going. But right now, his army supply twice ahead of Hellraiser.
Yeah, souL's in a very good position. That was before Stim. That was before combat shields. That was before any upgrades as well. So souL will... Of course, he slowed down his tech a little bit to put that push down. And he did lose the workers that he sent with him. So souL has been down in workers since. But if you take a look at income, you can see souL is mining more because mules are really good, kids.
They deserve their own song. You're absolutely right about that.
Yes. I mean, the SCVs have a love song, so.
Now, Stim and Combat Shield's coming down a little bit late for souL, but with that early push, he did one of those weird, I usually call them Clem pushes, where it's just like no upgrades, no tech, no nothing. Just move across the map with whatever you have at like 6 minutes and try and put pressure on your opponent. Now, souL did this a little bit earlier than Clem often does, but still that first push, completely naked, no support for those Marines, but now he's finally getting some of those upgrades up. And while +1 has started for Hellraiser, I think he's only on 1 Forge, so the double engineering base should help out souL. And if he gets that, armory down very quickly, he can stay ahead in upgrades significantly, and we're going to see a repeat of game number 1. souL moving out again. Look at this army supply.
Yeah, and souL scans slightly to the south here, as if to indicate quite possibly he was coming from that angle. A Terran usually always scans ahead of where they're going to move. So to scan down here in this area, now he's scanning where he's actually going. But you can see that the Protoss army is out of position right now, and that's going to allow time for the tanks to siege up. We also have a dropship, a medevac, going into the main here with 2 Marauders, 4 Marines. But this is going to be very, very tough for Hellraiser.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough army supply on the map to really respond.
Oh, look at the natural!
The natural as well. Now, this is going to bring a lot of the Zealots out, but there's no Zealots, then there's nothing to soak up the damage to the front here. Now, his tanks are very far back right now, but there's action all over the map right now. The drop in the main might be able to get some stuff done. These Zealots have to clean up the natural, but the third base is really under siege, and these Colossus are completely naked, Grant.
He didn't activate a super battery. It never happened. And what that means is the Colossus went down. He couldn't keep up with souL's multitasking, and now souL is up in supply. He's playing against mainly Zealots with a Marine Marauder, mine and tank composition. Look at the army supply, 20 to 84.